Hey everyone, and welcome to another consignment update here at Gardiner Houlgate Auction Rooms in Corsham, Wiltshire, UK. I'm Luke Hobbs, the auctioneer and head of department here. We're very busy at the moment. It's consignment deadline next week, but we are going to show you some really cool guitars that are coming up. Stick to the end and see. You will be able to see a guitar with some cool artist provenance, which the thumbnail has probably already given away. Last week, lefty only video. We're not going to disappoint you too much. All the righties that were disappointed, those of you in the comments saying how much you missed having the right-handed stuff, but I hope you lefties enjoyed that video anyway, one specially for you. But we are back with, I think, all righty guitars today. Last week we had a very static camera. We are back a little bit back to normal. We do have a cameraman. It's not actually Chris, he's away at the moment, but we do have the lovely Tim Cross, who does help us out here. So many of you local guys, you will know him, or those of you who come down to the cell room. Very lovely chap, knows a lot about instruments and guitars. He's a great help around the cell room, and he plays in a couple of great bands. Future Plan is his originals band, so go and check them out if you see them around, and his covers band Train to Scarville, who are absolutely fantastic. I've seen them a couple of times, and yeah, they do great ska orientated covers. I've got a lot of time for them. They are fantastic. Please do go and check them out if you do see them around. But anyway, you want to see the guitars. So before I begin, we're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. It would be absolutely fantastic if you could hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. For those of you who are regular viewers, and for those of you who are just joining us, I'll let you wait till the end though to see whether you really do want to subscribe to us. Hit the bell icon to be notified of future videos, and hit the like button because that helps this video get spread around. Head over to guitarauctions.com, guitar-auctions.co.uk for catalogue previews. We are putting stuff up. There may be some mistakes on there because it hasn't quite been proof checked, but at least you can get a good idea of what is coming up, and lots more to be added in coming weeks. But thanks for joining us this week for this episode, and yeah, let's have a look at what we've got. Right, so in here we have a 2015 Les Paul Standard. There we go. Very clean condition, comes with its original case. It has the dreaded to some robot tuners. Not everyone's favourite, and not everyone's favourite spec. Some people do love it, but you've got these push-pull pots. The thing I personally don't like about it is these have a slightly wider nut, but yeah, some people do prefer that. So in here we have a boutique-ish guitar from America. Lots of fans of these guitars. Tom Anderson at Guitar Works. And this is a Cobra model from 2003. And as you can see, like the last guitar, it's in fantastic condition from the same owner. It comes with this solid rosewood neck, which is always a nice popular feature. This brown sort of walnut topped, walnut capped body on the mahogany back. Really nice guitar with its case. Comes with its original Anderson pickups there as well. Another great entry. And in this beast of a case, we have a beast of a guitar. This is very much for the prog rockers, fans of Mike Rutherford, of Genesis, as he did use a 6/4 double neck bass and guitar. His was slightly different. His had the modules that you could put in and out, but still, Rutherford was the reason that the seller bought this instrument. So we've got typical checking on the body there, as you can see, all that lacquer cracking. That's very typical of Shergold guitars, but it is a rare piece. And when I first started selling guitars in this industry, we were getting £500–600 for these, but they now reach up towards the £1,000 mark because of the association with bands like Genesis. But a lot of fun. And I think a 6 and a 4, the bass and the 6-string guitar is possibly the most usable, maybe. Some would say that a 12-string and a 6-string, depends on whether you prefer Genesis or whether you prefer Led Zeppelin. Let us know what you think in the comments. So if you're into your basses and vintage basses, I think you're going to like this. A very, very clean, lovely example. And some of you may have seen this guitar before. We sold it to the seller a number of years ago. Finished using it for the project he needed it for. And here it is back again. But this is a 1970 EB-2. And it's in lovely condition, as you can see. Really strong cherry finish. So we've got semi-hollow body. We've got the 2 pickups. We got the this is kind of like almost a bass booster for the big pickup. But yeah, it's gives that classic thuddy, warm Gibson bass sound, and comes with an equally nice original case. So we have another. I want to get all the catches on the case. Another boutique maker and well thought of Canadian luthier, Morgan Guitars, and this is his Rosewood Dreadnought from the 90s, this guitar. And as you can see, Rosewood Dreadnought means rosewood back and side. So we've got Indian rosewood, very straight grain, so we can see that's Indian rosewood. This nice bright spruce top and mahogany neck and ebony board. It's a really, really nice acoustic guitar. I think this is the first Morgan acoustic we've had, but I am very impressed, and we'll probably get around £1,000 for that, but estimate of 1,000 to 1,500, and should be selling for that. It's a very good quality guitar. So in here we have a lesser spotted Fender bass model. Didn't last long, and maybe because it was a bit of a out there design, not for the purists, the precision and jazz bass fraternity. But this is a 1990 JP-90 bass guitar. So you've got this sort of precision and jazz bass hybrid with the switching and this small single ply guard. So very much a stripped back but very usable bass guitar with enough tonal options to keep you going. So lesser spotted, but they do come in at a lower price bracket than your P and your jazz basses of the same period. Hammer price, we'd probably get around £500 for this one, but not in bad condition, few dings and marks, but otherwise good to go. So here we have a signature model Fender Telecaster, one of, well, I was about to say one of my favourite bands. It's probably a bit too far, but a band that I really do like, Jimmy Eat World, and their guitarist singer Jim Adkins. This is his signature model. So a Telecaster thin line with the Seymour Duncan P90s, and it has this very comfortable sort of, it's not quite solid neck through, it is grafted in, but very comfortable to get up to the upper frets. So great condition, as you can see, in this natural finish. That is lot number 76, and they usually come in at a few £100s up to mid-hundreds, so doesn't break the bank, and a very good guitar indeed. So in here we have a very nice Martin acoustic. We have a lot of nice acoustic guitars in the sale, particularly from Martin actually, as I'm sure most of you have seen on the website, which is now in preview. The one thing I will quickly say about the website is we are previewing. You will find there are a lot of estimates missing and other details missing. Because we haven't actually quite proofed everything yet, but we just thought we'd get things up there so you can see what we got coming up. So if there are any mistakes there, please do forgive us. They will be rectified as and when I go through and actually proof check my own work. Anyway, we have a 2017 Martin 014 acoustic guitar. This is a custom shop. It's in exceptional condition. I don't think it's seen much use, to be honest. So we got this O-size body, and we have 14 frets to the neck or the body join. As you can see, we've got this really highly grained rosewood. It's not Brazilian, it's Madagascan, so no CITES issues with this one. And it's got that case smell that I love. I know smelling guitars isn't the main reason we buy them, but it does smell very nice, and it does sound nice when it's in tune. So yeah, this one will be coming up in the December sale, and £2,000-ish is what I'd expect this to go for. but I think that is a high price, but you are getting an exceptional guitar for that money. So that is a 2017 Martin Custom Shop 014. So here we have a vintage Gretsch bass guitar. This one from 1963. This is a 6070 model, often referred to as the Country Gentleman bass, but it is officially the 6070. Got a little bit of horrible white mould on the back there, but you can see the plastic plate is still there, so you can access all the gubbins inside because it has dummy F-holes. So there we go. Without that panel at the back, you would not be able to get inside it. So that is an original feature. That's why the pad's on the back. So we've got this single pickup. I don't think you really need much more for a bass. I'm sure a lot of bassists out there will say I'm very, very wrong. Let me know in the comments. But the mute system is partially missing. You can see the top bit is there. Some of the mechanism is still inside. But what we do have is we've got the original stick is still inside there, so you can play it kind of like an upright bass. Now, that stick, amazingly, does make quite a lot of difference to the value, because a lot of them do go missing, and it can make hundreds of pounds worth of difference in the value of these instruments. What will this make at auction? Probably around £1,000. So in terms of vintage instruments, especially from the 60s, it doesn't break the bank. But it is a bit of a beast of a model. It does have a huge neck, a really huge neck. It's not going to suit everyone, but yeah, a cool vintage piece nonetheless. So in here we have some more cool, quirky vintage guitars, and we have a Mosrite of California. This is from around 65, 66. This is a Ventures model, which was obviously the signature model of the Ventures band. So this is in really nice original condition. Lots of lacquer checking. I mean, I say really nice. A lot of people are going to be saying, how can you say that's really nice with that much wear? But I think that's acceptable for a vintage guitar. So we've got some buckle rash at the back. Really nice checking there, giving it plenty of mojo. Original pickups. It's got this original Mosley trem, which I'm pretty sure, academically, I'm not the best with Mosrite guitars, but I'm pretty sure this was a transitional feature going into 66. Tell me if I'm wrong. But yeah, most of the parts do date to 65, and obviously has the Ventures decal on the head there, but comes with its original case as well. And yeah, it's got the head that looks a little bit like a foot. But there we go. Really, really nice example, to be honest, despite some of the wear. And there we go. Like I said, original case, 65 Mosrite Ventures. So in here we have another quirky guitar from a similar period, a US made, although you will see it's in a later Ibanez case, so Japanese Ibanez case. But we have a Standel Custom Deluxe. This is the 101 model, made around 1967, made in the US, and similar to the last guitar, but maybe a little bit more severe. Lots of lacquer checking and wear to the body, but a really cool sounding guitar, and I think it looks really cool as well. A lot of you will disagree with me, but I don't care. I like it. I like things that are different. But yeah, there we go. 1967 Standel Deluxe 101. So in this Gibson case, we have a guitar that is not a Gibson, I think. There we go. So we have an early 60s, I'm pretty sure 62 or 63, Harmony H75. And these have become very, very popular in recent years. We were getting mid-hundreds, but now people are paying more, up towards £1,000 and above for them. And they do highly rate them with the gold foil pickups, the Rowe Industries pickups, and yeah, the on-off selector switches and the volume and control and tone control for each pickup. Brazilian Rosewood fretboard, which is CITES certified, as everything we sell of Brazilian rosewood is by law. And yeah, it's not in bad condition. There's obviously some marks and wear. You can see it's been played. There's some wear to the neck, but it's in the condition I think you'd expect for a guitar that is, yeah, what is that now? 60 years roughly old. So in here we have another quirky instrument from the 60s, but this time a Fender, a Coronado II model, and the 2 meaning 2 pickups. You can see this one's had quite a lot of use, lots of wear and discoloration to the body, very worn in neck, which does make it very comfortable, having this very nice satin feel. Rosewood board, block position markers, and as a good way into the vintage market, don't cost an awful lot of money. You can get them for around the £1,000 to £1,500 mark, which for a 60s Fender is not bad at all. So if you do like the hollow body thing, and you're into quirky vintage guitars, that could be one for you. And in here we have a Rickenbacker from 2009. This is a 4001 C64S model, and this is quite a rare model, this one. It was based off of McCartney's bass guitar with the stylized the walnut wings on the maple head, so the 3-piece head, maple glow body, but essentially they took all the specs of McCartney's bass that he used with wings and later on, but it's in fantastic condition with its original case, and yeah, not really a lot more to say about that other than it being in incredible condition from 2009. So here we have a Nash guitar, Bill Nash, US maker again, makes very good, mostly Fender copies. In fact, I think all of his guitars are Fender copies. Could be wrong there, but all the ones we get are anyway. This is an Esquire, and you can't get a lot better than a Nash neck. This has got a nice big 50s profile neck. As you can see, most of the guitars he makes are relict, but Esquire, so you've got the single pickup, and yeah, it's in, I'm going to say it's in great condition, because all the marks and wear are supposed to be there. So yeah, it is in pretty much as new condition, although it looks like it's been played to death. But a great guitar, and trust me, you can't go wrong with a Nash neck. So if you can get down to the sale room and give this one a go, you will see what I mean. They're always very, very comfortable indeed. So in this Gibson case, we do have a Gibson, and it is a Les Paul Recording, which was Les Paul's favourite model. Has these low impedance pickups, so very good for use in the studio, and this is in the lesser spotted white finish, which is now turned to a very custard yellow. Big fan of custard, so yeah, suits me. But you don't often find them in this white finish. More often see them in the cherry, and this is from 1976. It comes with its original case, a few marks and dings, but generally in excellent condition. So a couple of videos ago, I think it was the one before the Lefty video that we had last week, we showed you a Status Quo, I think was the leading guitar of that video, Travis Bean, and we had a couple of Kramer guitars in, and I said that we had another one which we'd see in a previous video, a future video. This is the one. So late 1970s, early 80s these were made. This is the DMZ 3000 model. It comes in the black finish. You've got the 3 single coil pickups. The 450 and the 650G that we had in the previous videos had the sort of more humbucker type pickups. But there is another variation for you if you would rather single coils. So we got the aluminium neck, and yes, not in bad condition. A few scrapes and marks. But they are a fairly rare guitar, and they are a lot of fun, and I guess with these aluminium necks, something to certainly try at least. And these are getting more and more popular. They can sort of bring up towards £1,000. I think we've got a pre-sale guide of 600 to 1,000 on it though, something like that. Because it is a bit quirky. I think the humbucker models are a little bit more popular. But there we go. Late 70s, early 80s, Kramer DMZ 3000. Very, very quirky guitar. Made by Trev Wilkinson, and this is an acoustic, as you can see, walnut bucking sides, but it has these drone strings So interesting concept, and it works, and no pull or anything with those extra strings going across. So really interesting idea. 6-string with the drone strings. It's a good quality guitar, it's been very well made. Don't know much about them other than that, but it's very interesting. It's obviously had some electrics at some point with the old holes plugged. But if you're after something a bit different and want a good quality acoustic, and you need some drone strings on your acoustic, there you go. Those of you who are into Manson guitars, and you missed out on the Manson guitars in the last sale, albeit they were Matt Bellamy ones, so very popular. This is a 2017 Manson 25th anniversary MA25 model. So we've got this sort of black sparkle finish. We've got the Sustainiac pickup, and this I think it's called the Manson Psychopath pickup in the bridge position. But really nice neck as well, satin finish with the rosewood board. Fantastic instruments, and with this really striking finish. Comes with its original case and all the papers. Right, so in here is I think, and I'm sure most of you will see why, a really good guitar, and very much catering for the heavy rock and metal audiences. This is the 2016 Epiphone Les Paul Custom Prophecy Plus. So you've got these EMG pickups, which I'm pretty sure it's the set that Hetfield has in his. I used to have them in my Gibson SG Standard at one stage before I put the stock ones back when I stopped playing heavy metal. But you've got this black satin neck, but this gloss trans black body, and all the black hardware. Comes with its original case, and I think they are absolutely incredible guitars. The satin neck's really comfortable, and yeah, I don't think they should just be exclusively for heavy metal. I think any genre really, especially if you need active pickups, but really comfortable, great Les Paul. Comes with its original case. So in here we have a Peerless Jezebel model. So essentially what we've got is we've got a sort of a Les Paul sized guitar, but it is chambered, it's a hollow body, so it's nice and lightweight. Has these sort of Gretsch type filter pickups, and yeah, Peerless is a very good factory, Korean factory. Used to make guitars for Epiphone and others, so very high regarded, and this is of course under their own name. Comes with its original case, and yeah, in fantastic condition. So in this Fender case is an interesting custom-made Stratocaster. It's on the base of a Japanese Stratocaster, so we've got a Japanese neck and the body which has been customized. Now, you may not all be into dragons or mythical beasts or anything like that, but the art on this is incredible. It's all hand done. You can get in there closely there. Quite incredible, the workmanship that's gone into this. So yeah, what else have we got? We've got a pair of Damasio humbucker pickups, and yeah, it's interesting. So if you're into guitars and art and you like your dragons, then could be one for you. And in here, if you want something a bit more normal in terms of Strats, we have a limited edition Player Series Fender Stratocaster, and it's from 2021, so Fender 70, yeah, the 75th year. So Mexican made, comes in this shell pink finish with the green guard, which I think is a really good look. Has this Powell Ferro fretboard, so a little bit brighter looking, which most people like the darker rosewood boards. Powell Ferro is a bit lighter, but it's what they were using at the time with all the rosewood issues they were having with Indian rosewood at that period. But yeah, it's in great condition. Player Series limited edition shell pink Strat. So in here, boutique guitar again. This is a Rick Turner Model 1 Deluxe electric guitar. Now signed by the maker on the back of the head as well. Comes in its original case. very good guitars these are. I believe one of the most well-known artists for using one was Lindsey Buckingham, of Fleetwood Mac fame. But yeah, interesting concept. Very, very good guitars, like I say, and that one is in great condition. In here we have something a little bit nice, especially for those vintage guitar fans out there. Here we have a 63 Gibson SG Standard with the Maestro trem. So we're looking at very much George Harrison spec, which always holds some clout. Guitars that can be linked to famous players. And as you'll see on the back of the head, we have a Frank Hesse label, which is where the guitar came from in 1963. So this has been consigned by the original owner, a chap based up in Liverpool. I met the son who brought it down to sell on behalf of his father. And it's, yes, I mean, it's got some play wear, but generally it's a really nice example. The cherry is nice and bright on the mahogany body. Yeah, used on the circuit quite a lot. Now, I can't remember off the top of my head the band that he was in, but he did play, like I say, on the Liverpool circuit back in the day. Did support the Beatles at the Cavern as well. Probably not with this guitar, because the Beatles last played at the Cavern in '63, I believe, so this may have been an acquisition a bit afterwards. But anyway, in terms of originality, you can see we've got the switch tip there that has been replaced. A couple of screws on the back that are not there anymore. But we've got potentiometers dating to 1963. And one thing that you do sometimes get with humbuckered Gibsons from 1963 is you sometimes do have one PAF pickup, which this one does. So we've got a PAF in the neck position and a patent number in the bridge position. Why is that the case? Well, essentially they had PAFs that they were using up, so they go and put one of them in there, and then the patent numbers, when they are granted the patent, they put the other ones in the bridge. Not that it makes much difference, they sound the same, just all in a sticker, but makes them double the value apparently. But there we go. Brazilian rosewood board, as you'd expect, CITES certified, of course. Lots of wear on the frets, again, as you'd expect. And I mean, some would say it may need a refret, but cool guitar. Comes with the case it was originally supplied in. I think you can probably tell I like this guitar a lot. The SG is one of my favourite models though, so I have a Standard myself, not one this old. I do not have that kind of capital, unfortunately. And even comes with an original Gibson strap. And there we go. But yeah, that one's coming up in the next auction. We've put a pre-sale guide of 6,000 to 8,000 on it, but it could sell for even more than the upper estimate, because these are very desirable guitars now. We'll see how it does. So in here we have a Fender 50th anniversary limited edition Telecaster electric guitar. One of the things they put on these limited edition Telecasters is this figured maple top. There we go, and you can see there was 1,250 of them made, and it is in fantastic condition with the original case. And in here we have a 62 reissue Fender American Vintage stack knob bass guitar, jazz bass. There we go. As you can see, it's in fantastic condition with the blue metallic finish. Comes with its original case. I don't even think there's a mark on it, to be honest. But there we go. If you want a vintage reissue and the stack knob reissue as well, there you go. Look no further. So in this case we have not a Loudon, as the case would suggest. We have an old Gibson 345 that has seen quite a life, unfortunately. So we have a look at the body first of all. Really nice looking body, lots of mojo, original sunburst finish. This dates to around 1964, but the issues start to arise when we get up towards the neck. As you can see there, we've got a fairly drastic graft there, and I'm going to turn the head over, and as you will see, the head has all been messed around as well. Also, the fretboard has been lacquered over, so here down, we're good, and we have all the original electrics and pickups. Here up, not so much, unfortunately. I do believe the Tune-o-matic is replaced, actually. I think that's a Japanese Tune-o-matic, but it has a lightweight stop bar. But yeah, from around 1964, as you can see, one control knob has been replaced as well. Yeah, it's a shame about the neck. I would say, unfortunately, this guitar is probably going to need a re-neck. So if there's any of you watching this who are interested, please do bear that in mind. The neck has a bit of a bow to it as well, and I wouldn't necessarily trust the truss rod with that graft. But anyway, it's been a single owner since the 1970s, and he has stated that it was like this when he got it. Still, good project for someone maybe, and it is still a 64 345. Still a cool looking vintage guitar, and it's got a good set of pickups in there. So from the same seller, we have this rather interesting vintage Stratocaster. Now this dates from 1962, and as you can see, there are some modifications again. You can see it's got this original neck, but you can see it's been completely refinished with some kind of varnish that doesn't have the nicest feel. So I would say that needs stripping and redoing. But this is a 62 Strat, and it's a veneer board, so it's later 62. But we've got this body black finish. This is refinished, but underneath in the cavities there is Fiesta red, and it appears to be the original Fiesta red. So this would have been an incredibly rare guitar. You're talking, I mean, this would have been in excess of, if it was original with the Fiesta red finish, we'd be 30 grand plus easily in today's market. Now we're players grade territory with quite a few issues in terms of finishing. We're taking it down to the £5,000 to £8,000 range. But there we go. Could be a good project for someone to get it back to the original Fiesta red finish. Oh, it wouldn't be original to the guitar, of course, but there we go. I'm not sure how much Fiesta red there is actually under this finish, whether that can be stripped back or not and revealed. I don't know. You'll have to find that out. Couple of all the screws are replaced in the tuners, but they are original Kluson Deluxe tuners. Brazilian rosewood fretboard, couple of dots missing. The original green guard, albeit a bit damaged, but underneath the guard, all the electrics are original, which is nice to see. So refinished body, refinished neck, some replaced screws, few damages to the guard, but there is Fiesta red underneath to be revealed. Very interesting case here, and we have another guitar with an interesting history and another vintage Strat. So the story is this was Noel Gallagher's 1963 Fender Stratocaster, and we have another refinished in black Strat. So yeah, refinished black body, but we do have the original finish on this neck, and this neck feels lovely, really nicely worn in, and it's also been refretted with these really chunky frets, and it's a joy to play, it really is, and it sounds great as well. Internally, electrics original, apart from the volume pot, which has been changed, but we do have the original in the case, and the guard has also been replaced. It's sort of a repro green guard, and it's a really nice weight as well. What's the history behind this? Well, it comes in this tweed 90s case with the Oasis stencil, and then it was purchased by the vendor from Vintage and Rare Guitars. Now when he bought the guitar, it wasn't being sold necessarily as an Oasis instrument. I guess in 2002 it didn't matter as much, even though Oasis were huge obviously throughout the 90s. But there is this letter here from Sheridan's solicitors, from a Michael Thomas to Andy Lewis of Vintage and Rare Guitars, saying, I attached the photograph of Noel Gallagher's refinished Stratocaster, apparently from his front room, popped up against his Marshall stack. I'm sorry it took so long to locate, but hopefully you can pass us on to the new owner. And there is the photograph with the matching serial number, demos for new LP. Now that actually does look like Noel Gallagher's handwriting. Obviously I can't verify that, I'm not a handwriting specialist, but I've compared it and it does look similar. And there's the guitar in front of his Marshall stack. But further to this, adding to the provenance to add some clout, some could say that is not enough, we have a tag from Bill Puplet. Bill Puplet sadly died earlier this year, but yeah, very well-renowned luthier, and it's got Jason Rhodes written on there, who was one time Noel Gallagher's guitar tech. And we have a 63 Strat in black with the matching serial number. And Bill Puplet was also very well known for doing work on Noel Gallagher's guitars, doing custom wine pickups and things like that. So with this document, and the case with the Oasis stencil is very good provenance, I believe, to stack up to say this was an ex-Noel Gallagher instrument. And obviously with Oasis being very hot at the moment, this could do very well indeed. So despite it being refinished, I would say this guitar with a refinish and with the replaced guard is probably worth in its own right around £7,000. We've got a guide price of 10 to 20,000 on it because of the provenance, but of course it could do a lot better because Oasis are very hot at the moment with the current tour and the whole country going bonkers about Britpop once again. So there we go, ex-Noel Gallagher 63 Fender Stratocaster. So there we go, ladies and gents. I hope you enjoyed that video today. We had a good selection of guitars, lots of nice vintage and quirky guitars, I think you'll agree. And finishing with that Noel Gallagher Oasis associated Fender Strat as well. So a nice selection of original and players grade vintage, I think. Let us know what you like in the comments. As always, please remember to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, hit the like button as well. We're really on a drive to get to 10,000 subs. That'll be fantastic before the end of the year. What a great Christmas present for us, and it will help us to be able to do more videos in the future. And yeah, like I said, thanks for joining us. Check out the preview website, guitarauctions.com, to see what we do have coming up. And we will look forward to seeing you again next week. See you then.